Mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa, and serosa or adventitia. So you see these layers in starting at the esophagus and going all the way through to the rectum, okay, what we call the alimentary canal. So this is inside, this is outside, okay. So what you have here is this portion right here is mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa, or you most of the time just see it muscularis, but your book uses muscularis externa, and then this out here is serosa, okay. So under mucosa, the things that we find there in this area, one thing are these intestinal villi. That's what these things are right here. Those are intestinal villi, okay. The gray area in between here is lamina propria, okay. This green thing here is a lacteal. Where this dips down like this is an intestinal crypt. You can see it there, and you can see them right here too. See how those dip down in there? Intestinal crypts. And then finally, the mucosa has a layer of muscle in it, and it's the muscle that's in the mucosa, so it's called muscularis mucosa. Okay. Right there.
Where's the one before that?
Where's your go Tawny, go get your lab manual.
Okay.
You don't have a lab manual with you?
I do, but I don't want to go get it.
Okay.
Do I have to?
No, you don't have to go get it. Okay. So because you don't know what the question is you're asking.
Well, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's
What?
okay.
You
It's
say
okay.
it. Go ahead and say it. What?
Yeah.
Intestinal crypts?
Mm-hmm.
These things right here.
Okay.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's mucosa. This area here is submucosa. This gray area here, it has most of the blood supply in it. One thing that you have in here in the duodenum, part of the small intestines, are these Brunner's glands. That's what these blue things are right here and right here. Brunner's glands. They're going to make bicarbonate and secrete it to neutralize the acid coming out of the stomach. The other thing you have, remember, is that Peyer's patch. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then this yellow in here represents nerves, and that's the submucosal plexus or Meissner plexus. Okay? That does the pacing for the small intestines.
What part is the submucosal plexus?
The yellow part?
The yellow part.
Yeah. And then muscularis externa, you have two layers to it. You have an inner circular layer, so the bowel's like this, it's going to be circular, and the outer longitudinal layer. In the stomach, we're actually going to have a third layer, an inner oblique layer. Okay, and then finally, serosa, except for you don't have serosa. And what serosa is a serous membrane. And so what we're going to give it another name inside the abdomen is going to be visceral peritoneum. Same thing as serosa, okay, this outer part. Now, the part of the bowel that is not in the abdomen, the esophagus doesn't have serosa, that outer layer would be adventitia. Also, we'll see that in the posterior sides of the duodenum, and the posterior sides of the ascending and descending colon are not going to have serosa around them. They're in what we call the retroperitoneum. They'll have adventitia. So are we okay with this model? Mm-hmm. You will see this in the lab practical. There will be 3 questions on here. Okay? Because we only have one of them. So. Okay? Next, B, C, D, through there. These are parts of the bowel. And we're going to start here with the esophagus. And I'm just going to show you all these things, and later next week I'll try and narrow you down. But I don't want to do that right now because then you won't look at it at all. Sure. Okay? So the esophagus, the way you can tell it is it just food passes through it, so you need a real hardy epithelium. This would be the inside of it right here. I'm going to kind of walk around the outside of it. See? All the way around the outside. This is that adventitia actually out here. Going all the way around. And so the inside, that would be the lumen. Okay? And this is a stratified squamous. You need a good hardy epithelium there. If you want to see the layers, this from here to here would be mucosa. This would be kind of submucosa. and then this is muscularis. It's not that clear on this one, but for sure, you know, you can tell that this is esophagus. Questions about this? There's a slide over there for stomach, and it actually has 3 different things on it because they show you 3 different parts of the stomach: the cardia, the fundus, and the pylorus. What the stomach has that's different than other ones is it has these. Let me see if I find a better spot for it. Yeah, this is okay here. Is you actually have pits that go into glands. So these are gastric glands deep in here. Let me find another one that's a little bit different. Yeah, here we can see the pits are going in, and these are all gastric glands in here. That's what that is. Here's the third one. You can see a little more of the pits here, gastric glands shallower. This would be that muscularis mucosa. So this is all mucosa. This would be submucosa. And then these are the muscle layers. That would be serosa right there, that thin serous membrane. Okay. So that's stomach. Duodenum or duodenum, depending upon how you like to say it. This is the outside of it here, coming around. See how big it is. So this would be the inside of the lumen. So what you see are these are villi. See a lot of villi. Back in here, these would be intestinal crypts. This is in the submucosa, and those are those Brunner's glands. All these things in here. And that's how you can tell duodenum. You've got these Brunner's glands that make bicarb. And then this here is going to be muscularis externae. So let me show you another series of small intestines that has the duodenum on it. There's a slide like this that has 3 things on it. The small intestines we're going to see has 3 parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Okay. And so when you look at this, it shows you a piece of each of those areas. So this one, going around it again, all the way around, that would be the inside. These are those villi. And this is duodenum because these are Brunner's glands deep in here. And then this would be the muscularis externae. This is jejunum. It doesn't have Brunner's glands. It does have villi. Okay, these big villi. And then over here is going to be ileum. Has villi, but the way you can tell it's ileum, it has these Peyer's patches right here. About 4 or 5 of them there, or 6. So that's ileum. Colon is the next thing that we get to. The way you can tell colon, this is your mucosa. That's that muscularis mucosae. Is you don't have villi. See how flat it is? So that's what colon looks like. It's flat. You still have the crypts, intestinal crypts. Okay, so that's typical colon. That would be all submucosa, and then there's muscularis. So, and then this part has adventitia on the colon. So that's colon, you guys. Questions about the bowel?
In our lab manual, it says that the colon has abundant goblet cells.
Yeah.
Do they show on that slide?
I didn't focus on it.
Can you show the jejunum? Or
Yeah, we saw that. That looks like the
Can you show
ileum,
the
but it
bottom?
doesn't have the Peyer's patches in it.
can you hit that again?
So here's duodenum. Here's jejunum. So that's all mucosa, submucosa. We really don't see the muscularis good. This would be muscularis externae, and there's your serosa. And so you don't see those Peyer's patches.
Is that just how jejunum is? You can't see the muscularis mucosa, or is this
No, not